Well, happy Saturday, everyone. I hope that you're having a fantastic first day of your weekend. I know mine has been great. It's really cold outside, but we got to go to Sesame Street Live this morning. It was awesome. I don't want to ruin it for you in case any of you are planning on going to see Sesame Street live while it's here in Memphis, but it was awesome. So here's what I want to talk about briefly. I want to encourage you, if you are local here in Memphis, to come to church tomorrow. And maybe you're not here in Memphis, you're not local. I would encourage you to engage with us online and watch the sermon after we post it a couple days past this Sunday. Here's why. We're in the middle of the Christmas season. So for many, it is the most wonderful time of the year, right? Like in my house, I'm trying to get it to look like Clark Griswold's house. I'm not quite there yet, but I do have lots of very colorful lights and many inflatables in my front yard. I love Christmas. I'm all in. But something that I have recognized is that not everyone loves Christmas. And I don't mean in like the Scrooge, bah humbug kind of way where you just don't like Christmas at all just because you're cheap or whatever, you want to buy people presents. I don't mean in that particular way. I mean that there are people, the reason you don't like Christmas is because it is a reminder of what feels like better times in the past. Like the empty chair at the Christmas dinner table is screaming loudly that the past is better than the future. Right? Like somebody passed away and this season is just a reminder of how much you loved that person. It's not the happiest time of the year for some people. In fact, like I saw this on Facebook. There's people who are posting and reposting like the suicide hotline numbers. And things like that, like where you can get help if you need it this season, because it's kind of like a silent epidemic. While so many of us are, sending our electrical bills through the roof because we're just lighting everything in sight, many of us are just sad that it's the Christmas season and we're ready for the beginning of January. And so, how does this all tie into us in church tomorrow? What I want to do tomorrow, I want to actually take a part of the Christmas story and unpack the realism behind it. What I mean by that is, so many of us, we've gone to Christmas pageants or we've been a part of Christmas pageants, and I think we're even going to go see a live nativity before Christmas happens. Me and my family will. So we've kind of been there where like they parade the camels in, and then you've got the kids that are the shepherds, and you've got the kids that are the wise men, and you got a baby Jesus, and it all looks so neat and beautiful and sterile and romantic. Like we've romanticized the Christmas story. And I don't want to take away from any of those things. Yes, the shepherds were in awe of the angel and in awe of the baby Jesus. The wise men traveled for maybe 2 years to get to Jesus and to bring him very real gifts. Like all of those things happened, and all of those things are teachable moments that we as Christians, we should learn from and be encouraged by. But oftentimes we forget the darkness and the brokenness that surrounded Jesus' birth. There was a king in the region, because Jesus was born King of the Jews. There was a king in the region who was the, quote, King of the Jews. When he found out that the King of the Jews had been born, the one that was prophesied about, he ordered the death of all the babies in the region, all the male babies under the age of 2 in the region. So most historians will say that was probably about 20 or 30 babies that under Herod were murdered because Jesus was born. And so the reason that I even talk about that, or the reason that we're actually going to look at that passage tomorrow, in fact, if you're coming to church tomorrow, you can read ahead. It's Matthew chapter 2, and I'm looking right now. It starts in verse 13 and goes down to verse 23. You can read ahead if you want. I'd love for you to. But the reason I think that that's going to be helpful is because it's into that brokenness and into that darkness that Jesus comes in. Like, yes, there is the story of the star that shone over the stable, and there is the shepherds and the angels, and just all these beautiful things that we will talk about, have talked about, and should rejoice in. But there's also Herod. There's also the darkness of this world pushing back. There's also brokenness on full display in the Bible. And so some of you hear the Christmas story and you see the romantic notions that we've kind of portrayed Christmas to be, and you look at that and you go, I can't find myself in any of that because my life at Christmas time sucks. because I remember the loved ones that were lost. I look at my life and I'm not where I want to be. Another year over, and I haven't gotten anywhere that I wanted to be in 2016. There's just despair, there's brokenness, and I want you to see that even in the Christmas story, there's despair, there's brokenness, and into the despair and the brokenness, Jesus comes. But not only does he comes and he provides hope. He comes into this broken world not to just blow us all to smithereens, but no, to give us hope, to give us a future, to enter into our brokenness, to bring us out of our brokenness, and to bring us into his love, his grace, and his mercy. And we know that because he came once, he will come again. Because that's what he promised. He fulfilled the first promise when he came the first time. He's going to come again. And the next time he comes, he's going to finish what he started. And he's going to wipe away every tear from every eye. And he's going to make this world our good, perfect home once again. And so I say all this to invite you. If you're local, I'd love for you to come. If you're not local and you just feel kind of this weight around Christmas season where you wish that family members were still here and Christmas is just a reminder of the brokenness in your life, I'd invite you to watch it after we post it, because I believe what the Bible's going to show us out of Matthew chapter 2 verses 13 through 23 tomorrow is going to give us incredible, incredible hope as we navigate this season. So I hope that this little devotional might have been helpful. Love to see you tomorrow. And hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend.